Hi, today we will go around a feature in Ruby which is called Autoload. Okay, Autoload, we'll see how it works, a brief explanation, a brief example, and why sometimes you cannot load such file, like here, cannot load such file. Why this is happening? Okay, Ruby said to magically autoloading file, but you have to do it correctly. Okay, let's have a brief explanation and I will follow it by an example. Okay, so from the Ruby's guide, you do not need to have requirements. Okay, like in C# where you using namespace. Again, Ruby said that you don't need that. You like here in the description from the guide, it doesn't have to be loaded by hand. You normally not need to use require. At some point you can in classes. You could have some problem doing this also because of framework. And also, by example, I was looking in Ruby's code for something else. And then I found out that when you load a module or you load Ruby, maybe like require Ruby or Rail et al., then it magically loads all the stuff. And you say, but how Autoload works in Ruby and how you should do it. Okay? From the guide is not so clear. But here I have an example to show you. By example, if I'm autoloading a module in Ruby, you can find that you will have something like this: extend active support autoload. And you look at that, okay, this is how Ruby is loading their module and classes. And then I go there and I say, okay, that's fine, you have autoload concern. And then you have a folder that is concerned and the stuff isn't there. There's something more that he do, but he does, but we keep it a brief example, just and then when you look in the autoload classes module, you will find that you no need to define the path. It's automatically guessed based on the file name. Okay, that's fine. Then you see here there's no path. Okay, that's fine. And this is how it works. Okay, how can we manage or program to achieve this? So we have a module book. By example, we can have a module book and files in it. When we have a books, which is the module, we have, like I said here. And then if we follow what I just showed you, then you have to extend autoload. For example, here I have to require active support. And if you look, active support will load all the stuff there. That's fine. And then we will have the autoload loaded. So, just for the sake of the presentation, I will just print on the screen that I'm in the book module, and then I will autoload bookstore. If we look back, bookstore are in book. So, I'm in the module book. It said that it will auto guess the name, then it will generate books because it's the parent, bookstore, which is the file, and if you have module and file, you can see how it works, and then it will automatically be able to find the bookstore in books and then load it. Just for an example, we will have to provide the additional path. Okay, it's like in C#, it's like in C or C++ project. When you are compiling your stuff, you have to define additional path where you will tell the compiler or the interpreter or the program where to look for the file. Okay, we'll see it if I don't provide it with the example, what it will happen. So let's go with an example. Keep watching. Back again, we are at the example. So first, what we have to do, like we said, is to create books at the root which will be like the module. I follow the same pattern that I found out in the library. You define at the root a file which will represent the description of the module. So in that file, like I said, you should start by require, whoops, I said a file. Okay, then you have to require Autoload, and then you have to define a module. Okay, box, which is the module we want, and like I said, I want to be in the module just to display that I'm in the module. I have to extend Autoload. That's fine, okay, and then I will have to load bookstore, which is a file in the module book. And what we just said is we have to have a folder that is named books. So we name it a folder books, okay, because it will try to get the file bookstore in books, okay, and then I have to create bookstore in books. Okay, and then this is a class. Whoops. Okay, and then here, just to know, I will print the I'm in bookstore, and then don't forget you are in the module books. Okay, that's fine. Are we ready to go? So we have the book here, and we have the bookstore. Okay, can we just go with the ERB? Okay, it's just then. If we try to do books bookstore, ERB, then you will have uninitialized constant books because we haven't loaded. Then what we can do, we can load books. Yeah, we can require, because it's the definition of our module. Okay. Yes, I forgot. The same thing. You will see the option that we can provide to be able to find the additional path. Now I'm just telling him load books, but he don't know where to look, so he will look in their additional path, which my project is not there. So what I can do is providing the root path of my project. That's fine. I'm in book module. Can now I do I go back and create bookstore new. It will tell me the same thing. You cannot load bookstore because it will try to look where, not in the additional path, because I haven't provided any. Then it will try to look in the lib path. Okay, let's go back with the same example. I will just provide the an additional path, and then let's try again. Okay, can we require the books? The books, that is fine. Now understand where I have this also where I can look to. Ah, okay, the books is there. Can now I do books bookstore. Fine. He is now able to instantiate an instance. So the Ruby's guide is true. You don't have to autoload your stuff. You don't have to require your stuff everywhere. You don't have to load your class by name, by hand. You can provide, if you look closely in the application .rb, you have a load path. If you look in the code, you will look that it execute a lot of require. Then at some point, is it better? He said that, oh, you don't have to use require. Okay, but underground, on the hood, it do it. It does it. So, following the same approach that they did in the module that I've just showed you, and following this path, it should be correct because we have done the same way as Ruby is doing stuff. And then you can compose your application. Another example that you maybe sometime you will have a class that you will have to put somewhere else. An example that you can do, is there's an extra parameter ici is the additional path. You can tell the location of the file. Okay, because at some place you have an old file that is set somewhere, but you can specify it. And if you have cannot load such file, is because the file is not placed at the right place. In Ruby 7 or 6 probably, you have logger provided. Then you will be able to understand why it's not working. With old code like Ruby 6 or Ruby 5 or 4, you can have headaches. Thank you for watching.